rig up the Neko rig, whatever you want to call it. This is kind of like a BUBBA Neko, I want to say, because just the worm's pretty fat. It's 7 inches. I'm sure everybody knows pretty much how to do this, but I don't mess with that tool too much. It's because I'm lazy, so I just kind of always thread these things on. And in fact, like when you thread it on with a Kincoo, it kind of like releases all that salt, and I don't know if it makes a difference, but it looks a little more beat up, like it's been chewed on already, and kind of releases that salt maybe easier. This worm doesn't have any salt on it. This is actually a real slow falling worm. So anyway, I put it about there. You know, do it however you want. This glue here, this Loctite, anything with that gel, man, that's the way to go. Little dab, one more. And I'm a big fan of the VMC Half Moon. I know a lot of people use the long skinny ones that insert and they don't have the weight sticking out, but I like this just to feel the bottom. You can feel the bottom a little bit better. And on some of these bigger worms, I would do 2 O-rings, but they're down in the boat and I didn't want to run down and grab them, so. But I've been kind of like playing with it where I'll space it out between a nubbin, you know, so they're not right next together. And I mean, it's been holding good, but no matter what, these things tear so easy. And then with this worm, you want to come back on the flat side with the ridges. And I'm a fan of going up with it. And that's a VMC Neko hook. Man, that's an awesome hook, man. It hooks them so deep, especially when you're making your far casts and hooking them on the longest part of the cast. It's a great hook. So that's it. That's the rig. Hey everyone, welcome to Northern Strain Lifestyle. This is episode 2. Here we're messing around with a Neko rig on a Deps Kincoo worm. Not sure if I said that right. But I wanted to get this video out because, man, I love this worm. I've been waiting for this bite to happen, and it didn't disappoint. So anyway, this worm, it's a little bit fatter than the Neko fat that Yamamoto Daiwa makes, which is an awesome Neko worm. But I just wanted to play with something different, and this one's really buoyant, and it's probably a little hard to tell in the underwater footage because I only got two arms and 2 hands, so trying to film it and work it was kind of a pain. And I wish I could have done the demo a little deeper to like show you how slow it falls compared to other worms like with salt in them. It's slow motion. It's a really cool fall, and then when it hits the bottom, it kind of like stays up, pointed up, tail up for a little bit, but then it slowly kind of like falls down like it would lay on its belly. And man, it's just different action, a different something different the fish haven't seen before. But yeah, so I'm just working outside weed lines. that same type of grass from the last video. In fact, I shot this yesterday on July 11th. Man, it was cold, cloudy, high of 70, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. But I went to the calm side of the lake, and it's nice over there. But yeah, I'm just working outside weed lines. I mean, a little bit deeper on this, 9 to 12 feet, but the weeds were coming up to 6 feet, you know, kind of staggered in between there. And man, the Neko rig is just, I feel it's a little unrated, you know. I don't see enough people having it tied on, see enough people using it. But yeah, it's killer for me. And what was funny too is I wanted to like really BUBBA Neko this with the bait caster. The first few videos are on the bait caster, and it worked great. And then I went for like half hour and I couldn't get bit, you know, and I know this is a sweet spot. So I switched it over to spinning rod. That Daiwa, I believe it's a 7.6, the Fighter, hair jig, Neko rod. Man, such a fun rod, awesome rod. I was really surprised how good it is for how long it is. And man, the hookup ratio is great with that. You hardly lose fish. And I was using it on a 3,000 reel. All my spinning gears 3,000 with 10-pound braid, 8-pound fluoro leader. And I was using that BMC Neko hook, awesome hook. I'm not sure about the weight I had in the worm, but it was probably their biggest size. Yeah, so I was throwing different colors because I ran out of this color. It's kind of like a June bug color. I don't even know how to pronounce the color. But yeah, so I ran out of that, and then I had to switch to a white worm. Couldn't get bit at all. And then I started playing with like beaver style baits, and couldn't get bit. Man, it's the Neko worm and a little spark shed for me this week. That's the bite. And with this little bit bigger worm, you kind of like want to let them chew on it for a little bit. Not, you know, 5 seconds. Let them take it for 5 seconds. Because with this bigger worm, they don't really get it all in one bite. And they kind of like swim forward and use the water and momentum to push the worm in their mouth. That's what I believe anyway. So when you go to set the hook, you kind of just reel into them and set it, because they're swimming with it so fast to suck that worm in. They're sometimes 10 feet away, you know, you don't know which direction, so you just kind of like reel into them. And man, and they stay pinned with that rod. It's awesome. And yeah, that's been the bite. I wanted to get this out because this is an awesome worm. And I'm going to probably rig it on a few different things and see what happens. Also, a little learning. Remember to wipe the water drops off the camera lens. That might make the picture better. And that's it. Thanks, guys. That's the episode.